After my video on private education and divorce, I got a request to talk about homeschooling. First of all, disclosure, I have not mediated a homeschooling divorce issue, but I'm going to do this as if I were in front of the clients, and let's see how that goes. Homeschooling or home education is where the parents take responsibility for educating their children. And I give them a lot of kudos because when I've tried to tutor my children, it works in some subjects. But my son was breaking and throwing pencils across the room when I tried to tutor him in math, which is actually a very strong subject for me. So about 4% of New Jersey students are homeschooled. So not a large amount, and this video is not going to appeal to a lot of people. But if you travel in an RV or you live on a boat, you may be homeschooling your children. And then it's going to be very relevant. So the cost of homeschooling, it's about $1,000 a year for supplies and curriculum and so forth. The biggest expense is really the income the person who's doing the tutoring or the education foregoes in taking responsibility for educating the children. But what happens in a divorce? So first of all, if the parents agree that homeschooling is the best choice for their children, then one party will make it financially workable for the other party to be at home. But oftentimes, either that's not affordable or they don't want to do that. So, how do they deal with this? The first choice I would say is if the parents disagree, to work on a transition plan to get the children to either public school or private school. The second is if they still disagree about that, then they have to negotiate and say what really is in the best interest of the children and really see what you can trade off. Maybe the parent who's at home can work on weekends or on nights. I have nurses who do that. But there has to be a financial compromise because the courts in New Jersey expect parents, unless they have very young kids, to work full time. And clearly, if you're educating your children from 9 to 4 each day, that's really not a possibility. So we have that issue. And then let's just put the overlay that getting health insurance for parents of divorce is a really big challenge. And if you're not working full time, you're probably not eligible for those benefits. So there's an additional cost for private health care insurance. So the issue of private home education and divorce is certainly complicated and certainly something better addressed in mediation than through the litigation process. If you have questions about education, about private school, about homeschooling, give me a call. It's Anju Jessani for Divorce with Dignity Mediation Services, saving dollars, making sense. And oh, by the way, please follow me by clicking on the subscribe button. Thank you.